somebody who is farming. Look for somebody who is farming that you will learn from. Then two, try and sell tomatoes and pepper and watermelon and see whether people are buying it. It will help you know whether that is where you should be investing or not. So practice, practice, practice. You must go for internship. You must go and find out. Say exports. Go and work with somebody that does exports. Export is very complicated. You cannot just say, oh, I attended one export management course and then I want to start exporting. No. Go and look for somebody who is into export. Work with the person so that you understand how exports work. Whether it is coconut, cocoa, or oil palm, the same thing. Don't just let them say, do you know, with oil palm, there's this season, there's off season. A lot of things are changing. The borders are open. So be very careful whether you are running the business or you just want to go into it. Please get experience, understand how it works. I know. Before you tell me, I know that young people are being encouraged to start their own business. I know that young people are being encouraged to be entrepreneurs. But guys, entrepreneurship is very expensive. It is very, very expensive. You need to think of survival. You need to think of growth. If you're in survival mode, you cannot grow. You don't have money to eat. You don't have money for transport. Maybe you live alone, but you don't have money for your house rent. How will you grow now? So you must cross the survival battle before you go. If you are broke and you haven't eaten, your brain doesn't work well. I don't know about other people, but if I'm broke, my brain doesn't work well. It just works in a very different direction. So I always try to make sure I'm never at the bottom of my pocket. You know how you say, very important. It affects your decision making. And there's evidence to prove that it does. So please make sure you know where you're playing. Check what is happening in the market. I'm serious. So check. Don't just listen to what people say to you. Go and experience it for yourself. That's how we are talking about running a profitable business. It's not just running all this business that you are going from one event to the other, from one show to the other. No, we're talking about real business here. Please, there are a lot of challenges. There are a lot of challenges, whether it's with the weather. I mean, look at the state of our roads. Nigeria has a very weak transport infrastructure. Very, very weak. Cost of funds very high. And the government keeps changing policies, right? So you really need to understand the challenge and be able to deal with it. Again, that's why I said it is difficult for young people to grow enterprise without support of a more experienced, and either you join a community like Farm to Fortune, or you have mentors, you have sponsors, you have partners. You just have to know you need help. I need help, and we all need help. So please, let's take it very seriously. And there are opportunities, serious opportunities. There are opportunities. Nevertheless, there are opportunities. But again, where are they putting money? You know what I said about looking for the areas that are getting funded? Look for it and see how you can pivot a bit so that you can tap into it. Either it's climate smart agriculture, renewables. Look for what is getting funded and pitch your tent with it. This is not the year of just grandstanding and speaking English. This is a year of getting things done. Look at the trends. Look at where you have investment hooks, where you're getting investments, and what can you do with alternative power supply. There's a lot of funding there in climate smart, in circularity, in renewables, in regenerative. There's a lot of funding there. So go and look for it, please. And then, of course, processing and value addition. Very good. Again, this area also gets a lot of funding. However, you need to understand the sector you are playing in. You need to be sure there's a market, both locally and internationally. You need to know the regulations. You need to know what the market is demanding. Don't just go and start doing something because everybody is doing it. So important. Now, there's a lot of talk about, because of sultry, A lot of people want to do cassava and something. But do you know the market? Do you understand how it works? Should you go and work with sultry or go and be their agent so you really understand the dynamics and decide whether you want to go into it or not? Go and check cocoa. What's happening in the cocoa market? People say, cocoa farmers made a lot of money. What is it? Is it a trend that is likely to continue? What's driving it? What international dynamics is driving it? You must find out because most of the money from cocoa is from exports. So what's happening globally now? Is it a trajectory that will continue or are there changes? I mean, if you do dollar trading, you know that the dollar fell drastically in the past few days. So you really need to know what's happening in the market. Yet they say keep all your money in dollar. Dollar lost almost, give or take, maybe about 5% this week. So for people keeping money in dollars, you automatically lost 5% of your wealth. So you need to go and find out what is happening. It went from 1,486, by yesterday it was 1,450. The 1,450 or 1,455, something like that. See what has gone off it. So you have to be careful. Same thing with the processing, and if you are doing something that has to do with women in rural areas, better for you because again, you have access to global funding opportunities. So you need to there are different ways you can make money. You can make money from cropping, you can make money from manufacturing. Jesus, who is that? Ah, gosh, I'm sorry. Oh, please, can you mute your phone? Because you really distract us when you do that. So yeah, I was talking about the dollar and how it also affects the different areas. The way the currency fluctuates, that's how commodities markets fluctuate. So if you are going to go into manufacturing, be sure of what you're doing, and then opportunities in technology. Now, globally and in more advanced climes, you see them talking about AI, farm management, blockchain, and all of that. But what kind of technology do we need in Nigeria in particular? Our number one technology is energy power. What technology? Because if you are going to do AI, you're going to do blockchain. If there's no electricity, how would you do it? So, what are the things that you can put in place to give better access to power for farmers, right? If you are doing ag tech, what part of the value chain can you improve with technology? Is it distribution? Is it finance? Is it inputs? Is it procurement? Is it
I think the network is a bit funny from my end.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Welcome back, ma. Welcome back.
You see what I was saying about technology?
Yes, so yes, so this is Nigeria.
What I was saying about technology, and yeah, there's just so much that we need to do in the value chain, in the supply chain.
All right, so let's hope our network is back. Uh, so I mean, let's just give her like 1 minute, and then we can probably take questions from the 9 slide. I think she has done 9 out of 12 slides. So let's see if our network brings her back. If otherwise, we can begin to take questions. So begin to type your questions in the chat box, and then maybe whatever you've actually, maybe your comments, your questions, feel free to type, to type them out. Your questions, your comments. So while we're expecting her, hopefully the network is fair so that she can join us. Please signify if you can hear me by show of reaction or comments or anything. Can we all hear me? All right. Thank you, Prince. Thank you, Nama.
Yes.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Yusuf Bumi. All right, so let's while we are waiting for her, so I won't just wait for, I mean, not doing anything. Let's just drop our messages, our questions, our comments. If you have reactions to say, I mean, my own take home, she has said that if you are not working, if you have not worked anywhere yet and you want to start an agribusiness, you actually need to go and work somewhere as an intern to learn. I mean, that's part of what I have taken note of. And then she has said that information is everywhere. Now you have to make many of the information, ChatGPT, Claude, DeepSeek, and everything. So, what are your thoughts? And then, what are your concerns or your questions that you really want to, you wish you can have time that we can discuss about? So, quickly drop them in the chat box. While I'll be waiting for her to join, I'll reach her again to see if she's able to join or not, and then we can know how to proceed. But we'll be expecting your questions and comments. Thank you, everyone. Hi, guys. I'm not seeing comment and questions, though.
Hello, doctor. Can you see me now?
Welcome back, man. Welcome back. I was trying to reach out to you.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Anyway,
Thank
I
God.
was just rounding up. So in conclusion, I can't share because now I'm using my phone. I don't know what happened to Glow. I don't know what happened to MTN. Well,
Sorry about that.
both of them just suddenly went off on
Sorry
my
about that. Sorry
device.
about that, man. Sorry about that, man. Welcome back.
So I was talking about I talked about technology and then I went into youth. Of course, we have a lot of young people. So good population, good opportunity for us to do things. Let us not waste our youth bulge. We have a youth bulge in Africa. And the youth bulge simply means that you have more young people than older people. So that's why it's a bulge. It's like when your stomach is bigger than the rest of your body. That's why say you have pot belly. So right now, Africa has a pot belly full of young people that need space to express themselves. So we have to figure out things for ourselves. We have to collaborate more so that we can create opportunities. And then, of course, whatever you are doing, always think of risk. Risk management is very important. Insurance, doing your due diligence, working with communities is also very, very important. And then diversification, please diversify, especially when you are in primary production, so that you do not go into a serious loss as a result of concentrated risks, right? So I'll wrap up by saying, look, don't don't um don't just go in blindly and optimistically. I'm not saying we shouldn't be optimistic, but don't just say, oh, they said farmers will make money. Oh, this last year they sold palm oil at 75,000 naira for 20 liters. By the end of the year, it had come down to like 50,000, right? So don't go down that way. Cassava, maize, everything went down last year. Even yam, I was up tomatoes. The people who thought they would cash out, there was nothing for them. So you have to be very careful. Make sure you manage your expectations, and please do your due diligence, do your industry research. and work with a community of experts or experienced people. They will help you better. One of the best things that has happened to me is working with the community, working with experienced people in the agribusiness value chain. And that's why I stuck with manufacturing, because I understand that sector better than cropping. I don't understand cropping, but there are people who are experts in cropping. They will do it very well. So please, whatever you do, be very careful about optimism. Don't be too optimistic. Agribusiness is a very volatile industry. I remember Dr. Kelikume saying that it's a wicked sector. It is wicked if you don't understand it, because there's so many variables. Like every other business, there are so many variables at play. But people tend to be very optimistic and think, maybe it's agribusiness. I'll make my money. I'll do well. No, no, you have to please do your due diligence, do your homework, and please stay with the community. Very, very, very important. So, on that note, I want to thank you. Those are my thoughts that I thought I should share with you. That it's a real market, it's a volatile market. Number one, do your due diligence, understand the industry, understand the market. And when you start, make sure you work with the community. When you are praising all the opportunities, please start from what you understand and stick to it. As opportunities arise, you can diversify, but always start with what you understand. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Olaoluwa, for having me speak again today. So now we'll take questions and answers, and we'll take it from there. From we got some questions before today, especially during registration. So we would answer some of those questions. But first, let's hear from those of you who are here, if you have any pressing questions. And then meanwhile, we'd also have answers to some of the questions you have asked. So any questions? I saw one question in the chat box. Or maybe it's a comment. It says, my question is that if tech replace crude way of doing agriculture, will it not cause unemployment? No. I think it will create more opportunities. The stage where we are in Nigeria now, technology for us, the kind of technology we need, number one technology we need is electricity. We need tools to improve productivity. Right now, the hoe and cutlass will not work. And then now we have these dangerous chemicals that they use to weed and to do the managed farms. So it's really not in our favor. We just need to be able to have access to more modern tools, tractors, plows, weeders, harvesters. We need more. We need more of such technology, So Prince says, my question is, what innovative agri-tech solution can address spoilage risk, trust deficit, logistics, all in one? I don't know anyone.
Prince
I
is
don't know
best.
anyone, but I'm sure I can ask. The first thing I'll say is spoilage is post-harvest loss. We need cold chain. You need preservation, whether it is cold, whether it is dry. You need preservation. We don't have enough of such. You see a lot of, even the way they convey goods, that we don't have technology. So we need more cold chain supply. We need more trucks. And then we need better infrastructure. We need good roads, rail, water transports. We need that. In fact, there's no infrastructure in Nigeria. Our infrastructure is very weak. There was a study that said that Nigeria needs, I think, about 30 trillion naira over 10 years to bridge our infrastructure gap. So we really do need infrastructure. And that would be an opportunity for people to do public-private partnerships. So for every problem, my own resolution for 2026 is that for every problem that Nigeria has, I'm going to think of solutions and how it can be done. If I do that every day, I'm sure that before the end of this year, before the end of this quarter, I would have at least 2 very good solutions that have potential to earn revenue. So So it's very, very important we do that. We had a lot of questions before today, and most of them were operational issues. What I would say is you really have to get in. Someone says, if you were starting an agribusiness today with very little capital, what specific niche or value chain would you enter into and why? If you ask me, I'll do consulting and trading because that's what I understand. I won't buy land and farm. I probably won't do processing because I don't have the energy for it again. Unless I get funding or I have partners who would fund and then I can provide management advice. But for me, based on my strengths and my experience, I'll do trading. And if I were to start again, I'll just do trading and advisory, you know. Without a big marketing, someone says, how can a small scale farmer build, yes, so soft life, Sean. How can a small scale farmer build a strong and trusted brand and attract steady customers without a big marketing budget? Use social media, it will help you. And then belong to networks, communities. The best invention in the world is social media. I mean, life was hard before social media, but now and if you are not lazy to post, you don't have money, then you must have the energy to post, create content, and push your content. If you want to access funding, there are different ways. It depends on the stage you are in. But if you are just starting afresh, it has to be from people who know you, right? You have to have strategy. Somebody says, how can farmers stay profitable despite rising costs? You have to have strategy. That's why we're talking. Review your strategy, look at what's happening, do scenario planning. A lot of us don't plan, we don't do strategy, we don't review. We're just running the business like that. You would always be choked. But if you have a strategy and you are constantly reviewing, you're doing scenario planning, you're looking at what is happening around you, you know what you should do. And this is where having communities, mentors, coaches, this is where it's very important because they'll be able to guide you to say, look, in Nigeria of today, this is where we are going. Costs are going up. So what is your plan for the year? Do you even have a plan for the year? You have to plan and know how you will hedge your risks. Okay. So those are some of the things I would like to say. Most of the questions here are really operational, and it requires more of one-on-one. Olaluwa, I'd like to hand over to you and say that I hope you found today's session useful. But what's really important is make sure that you are working with either coaches, consultants, or a community of other practitioners that can guide you. Someone says that there's one question I'd like to ask about. I think this person was talking about. So, what's the best way to secure reliable market access and avoid low sales or price crashes at harvest time? I'm sure Olaoluwa, you can answer that. Again, it's about strategy and planning. Do you do forward planning? Do you have customers? Do you have off-takers who will buy from you? Then do you have a means of preserving whatever it is you are producing? Because what is happening in Nigeria is not rocket science and it's not new. So do you have customers? Do you have any method for preservation? Can you join a community so that you join with other people to preserve whatever it is you are producing? We cannot just be wishing and hoping. There has to be strategy. There has to be a plan. There has to be a people. You have to plan. Nothing just happens. Most of us run our businesses with hope. Hope is not a strategy. Being positive is not a strategy. What do they call them? Motivational speaker is not a strategy. You must have a plan. I have a strategy for 2026. And that's why I'm saying if you come to me and say, come and invest in a farm, I won't answer you. It's not part of my strategy. So you must know your strategy for your business. You have to do scenario planning. If dollar goes to 1,200, what should we do? If the federal government decides that anybody can bring any food inside Nigeria, what should we do? What is your plan? You have to look at when people are releasing economic outlook. It's not for fun. They are telling you what may happen. Go and look at it, and then so you can make your own plans too. I'm not saying you should just take what they've said, but take it in relation to yourself and do scenario planning. We cannot just sit down and be complaining. There's so much bad news to keep you worried. But that shouldn't deter you from planning for your business. What's your strategy? So for me, I have a strategy and I try to stick by it. No matter what people are saying. That's why I also don't copy people. Because I already have my strategy. So if you see me doing something and you copy me, you make a mistake. Because I might be doing something for a different reason than making money. You know? And you may not even know how I'm making money. But you now think, because she's doing this, she's doing that, that's how she's making. You go and try it, you won't see money. You be like, this one is doing 419. No, I'm not. But what I'm doing is for a different reason. And you decided to copy me. So let's not coast. Let's have a strategy this year. Olaolu, over to you. Dr. Bangwe,
Your
over to
Excellency,
you.
ma. Thank you so much, ma. Let's show reactions, round of applauses, hearts, congratulations and everything. I mean, thank you so much. I'm not seeing reactions, so the thing don't hit you for where you had. I mean, my note is full. I will show you. I want to believe that we have a lot of questions and then our notes. You can see my notes. I'm not sure you can see, but I mean, no jokes, no jokes. Second page, my note is full from these few minutes of interaction. How much more when I'm one-on-one with Dr. Helen? She's my mentor. I mean, the one person that can actually tell me the truth, nothing but the truth. And then, I mean, she's my mother. She's not my mate. So, no remorse. Laulu, do this. If you don't do this, you won't get this. And then she means it. And I actually have to do this. I mean, she always has everything to see, like value whenever we see. And I'm sure you have seen that, in these few seconds, that we are together. Thank you very much for pouring your heart out every time you have the opportunity to, and then for partnering with for allowing us to partner with you to actually make this a reality. Obviously, you have seen this out of compulsion. I mean, for the participant now, is out of love for the younger generations. And what she has said, I can actually begin to say, I mean, where I made my own mistakes as a business owner, where she came in and helped me, and then how I'm getting better. I was still with her in December. We sat for over 2 hours, strategizing, looking how the year went, 2025, and forecasting how 2026 will be. So please get a mentor. You can't overemphasize that in agriculture. And she has actually said a lot of things about infrastructure and different things. So I won't do a recap now. I can see Idou's hand up. I think you have a question for Dr. Helen, so I won't deny you that opportunity. Idou, if you're able to unmute your mic, kindly unmute your mic and quickly ask your question, briefly. Thank you, Idou.
All right. Thank you, Doctor, my mentor, and Dr. Helen. Thank you for the value you are giving us. Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes,
Loud and
we
clear.
can hear you,
We
though.
can hear
We
you.
can hear
Loud and clear.
you.
Yes.
So, in 2022, October to be precise, I attended Agribusiness program in Lagos Business School, and it was Dr. Helen that taught us, one of the facilitators there. So, and then just like you were mentioning, before you go into business, you must do your due diligence. That day, 2022, you kept telling us that anytime you want to do business, make sure you go into one product, that we should not do many businesses, that we should focus on one. I remember you said, you gave an example of Shivita, how they actually started with one. So that has always been with me. My question is, today you said we should diversify. When should we diversify our business? When should we diversify so as not to affect the main business? Thank you, ma.
Yes, you remember what I said? I said, do one thing well and diversify. I did not say just start with three things. Do one thing well and diversify. Diversify within the value chain. If for instance now you are planting tomatoes and peppers and say watermelon, cucumber, if you want to diversify, the kind of diversification we are saying you should do is, can you begin to look at maybe drying the tomatoes? Can you build a partnership with an e-commerce firm so that you are selling on their platform? Can you process your crops? Can you dry them? For me, diversification has to be within the value chain. If you go out of the value chain completely, you have to build a completely new system, right? And then also especially those of you in cropping, when you are diversifying, make sure you are mixing your crop, right? Please, if you are somewhere noisy, you can't speak. If you are somewhere noisy, you can't speak. You start, and like I said, I told you, when you get good diversify, very important. You have to, if you've been doing the same thing for long, you have to expand or try something new. And if you are in a noisy place, please, you can't speak. We won't allow that. If you're in a noisy place, you cannot speak. So you better type it. Thank you. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, ma. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for that beautiful question, Edo. So, Anoluapo, are you in a quiet place?
Yes, I'm in a quiet place.
The network is actually a bit, not so strong. Can you speak again? Okay, you can go ahead with your question. Briefly, please.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Loud and
Yes, we
clear.
can.
Briefly now, please. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the session. I really appreciate. My question is, I'm a young lady, and I'm starting to take interest in agricultural aspect, but I don't know which niche to pick first. I'm looking into different angles, but I can't say exactly which one to pick first. I want to do my research well, like what you said, we should do our due diligence and research well. So I'm still trying to explore some things, but I can't say which particular niche to choose first. So I want to ask that, what advice can she give? Is there any hints she can give, any experiences, some other things? Thank you, ma'am.
Well, what I would say is, you have to try something. If you don't try anything, you can't make a judgment. There's something called paralysis of analysis. You must know, there are so many things to be done. So you have to choose one. Sometimes you have to try so many things before you find what you like. So don't box yourself in a corner. You have to try so many things. That's what I would say to you. I cannot recommend to you because I don't know the kind of person you are. I don't know your strengths. I don't know your capabilities. I don't know your experience. I don't even know what interests you.
Yeah.
So you are the one who knows yourself. So you have to try things out. We should we should not wait for everything to be perfect. I've tried so many things and I've made so many mistakes, but now I'm much older. I'm happy I made a lot of those mistakes when I was younger. Otherwise, I'll be able to make very good decisions now. But because I allowed myself to experiment when I was younger, as an older entrepreneur, I'm able to make better decisions. And I know my strengths. I
All
know the
right.
things that interest me. I know the things that I'm not interested in. So you have to just experiment. Don't box yourself into a corner if you are still very young. I mean, very young here is like below 30. Allow yourself to experiment and learn. Explore. Don't box yourself into a corner. It's your life. If you make a mistake, you pick yourself up, you continue, you try another thing, try again until you get good. So don't box yourself into a corner.
All right. Thank you
That's
very
my
much,
All
man.
right,
that
ma'am.
was my answer.
All
Thank you
right.
very much, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
Oluwapo, for that beautiful question. So before I actually call on Fumilayo, if you're able to speak and then you are in a very, relaxed place, before I call you, and Oluwapo, I have this comment to say as well. Probably you didn't join early. She actually starts with saying that, the solution you are providing must have been from a problem, from a pain point. I remember her saying this every time, she lectures or I'm around her. There must be a pain point. Probably the fish you buy sometimes is maybe almost getting rotten, or the chicken you bought is bad, or the vegetable you bought. So there has to be a pain point. There has to be a problem you are trying to solve. I'm recommending now will be out of, okay, so who told you to do it? Dr. Helen said I should do it. You are not convinced, in the business to actually sustain your operation. So I think that helps as well. Now I want to call Oluwafunmilayo. Just keep it brief because it's actually 7 p.m. and we start early so that we can round up early. Please, just make it brief. Oluwafunmilayo, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Ma, for that wonderful session. So, Ma, I identified a problem in this that I will need soil microbiology to fix, and I tried to search for internship for places that I can effectively do it, and it's all the CJIR institutes like IIT and all. But there is an issue of saying that their budget has been slashed, blah blah blah, that they can't actually accept interns. So I just wanted you to like recommend other institutes that like actually do such kind of things, and I can accept interns even at this type of time. Thank you.
I'm sure that Dr. Ololoa can help you with. You have to search just the way you found what's their name? The way you found IITA.
IIT, correct.
Yeah, that's the same way you would. That's the same way you will find those other places. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Prof. Ma. So I think I want to say that, I mean, for me, yeah, they might have cut their budget, but at the same time, you should be willing to spend yourself, I mean, be spent probably in time or your money as well. When they see how passionate you are, I think this was actually a Sam, I mean, a Matthew story as well. This was Maltronics some years ago. And then Maltronics has gotten a lot of funds, a lot of support from what's it called now, from same IIT that I was struggling to even work with in the first place when eventually served with them. And if you don't mind as well, I can make recommendations to you for what is it called now, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. We have a partnership there with Maltronics Hub as well, with the Vice Chancellor, and then several things that we can do together. But when they are saying their budget is slashed, they know that you might be willing to come and earn from the project. When grants come or opportunities come, you might want to come and say you want to earn from this, you want to probably work and earn. They are saying to you that there's no money for this opportunity. If you tell them you are willing to learn at no cost, you even spend to learn, they will take you. Try it. I mean, if you are willing to now, take it further by reaching out to me or to us, the team, to, recommend it to maybe other places as well, we can. But all these places are telling you that we don't have any money to pay you. Are you willing to come and learn and apply yourself without earning and still keep to the rules? That's what it means sometimes, actually. All right. So thank you for that beautiful question, Fumilayo. And then, so I believe there are no more questions. If there are more questions, you can actually keep them, in the chat box. I'm looking for messages, so I'm not seeing any messages for now. So once again, I want to say thank you to Dr. Helen. Thank you for your support always. I want to mute this speaker. Okay.
Okay, Ololoa. Thank you, everyone. Nice meeting you all. And we will see you again in February.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening,
right.
everyone. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. Bye, everyone. Or do we have more questions? I think Dr. Helen has a meeting, so she has to leave. Do we have more questions that we want to ask before we actually call it a day? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions, so I want to believe we can actually call it a day, right? All right, so thank you, everyone. See you all in February by God's grace. Have a good evening, everyone.